folks, well, welcome back to the channel, and for this video I'm going to be doing another review of a Scottish novel. And I had been looking through some of the videos that I had up on the channel previously, before I rebooted the channel and started to put up newer content after taking old content down. And it was just trying to see if I still had any of the old reviews that I did for Scottish novels. But even though there were some, I didn't think they were up to scratch for what I want to be doing with the channel now, so I decided that I would reshoot some of the reviews that I'd done previously. So I will get on to the first book that I'll be doing as the first reshoot for some of my previous reviews. And before I do that, a wee bit of housekeeping first. If you're enjoying my channel, if you enjoy my videos, if you can click on the subscribe button, click on that notification bell, leave some likes, leave some comments, it's always really appreciated. And if you'd like to support the channel further, I will post a link to the channel's ko-fi.com page in the description bar below and in a pinned comment in the comments section. So without further ado, I'll get back onto the main topic of the video itself. So the first book that I'll be looking at, or video that I'll be looking at, the book that I'll be looking at for this video, is going to be rebooted by Anne Donovan. And this was Anne Donovan's debut novel, and it was shortlisted for both the Orange Prize Award and the Whitbread Award as well. So for a debut novel, I'm like, it's even just to get nominated is obviously high praise. So it is a widely acknowledged and widely acclaimed debut novel. And for those who don't know, it is set in Glasgow and it is predominantly written in modern Scots. So essentially, if you come to the west coast of Scotland and you hear how people are speaking among themselves and Scots, this is kind of how the book is written. And I do think it does add a certain flavour to the book. It does kind of give it a certain air, and it definitely kind of does add to the storytelling and the story itself. So the whole premise, so it is also told very much with a kind of Glaswegian voice, a Glaswegian sense of humour, and it is told from three perspectives. So there's Anne-Marie, who is the daughter, there is Jimmy, who is the dad, and there's Liz, who is the mum. And so Jimmy is the dad, or the da of the title. So rebooted is referring to Jimmy. And even though, yeah, because I have to admit, even though I'm kind of used to hearing Scots and Scottish English being spoken, it's like, because I'm just that used to kind of reading general English within novels, because again, that's generally kind of what a lot of novels are written in for an English speaking audience. It maybe took me about I think it was about a chapter just to get into the swing of reading in Scots, again. But again, as I was saying previously, it does add a kind of certain level of provenance to the story and to the novel. And the novel itself, kind of aside from the use of the Scots language or Scots English, it does very much look at the effects of having a kind of a life change, or kind of having a major change in your life can have on those around you, not necessarily just in yourself, but on those who are close to you, those who you love and you care for. Because within the story itself, Jimmy, after a very drunken night with friends and family, decides that he is going to become a Buddhist, and essentially very much follows his coming to terms with following the Buddhist path and learning about Buddhism and how to be a Buddhist, but is also looking at the effect that that choice that Jimmy has made has on both Anne-Marie and on Liz, as what his daughter and his wife. And it is very much also told from all three of their perspectives. So you're seeing how Jimmy is grappling with how he's trying to become a better person and trying to move away from things that he's been done in the past that he now sees being toxic, and it also has the effect on how Liz and Anne-Marie are coping and dealing with what's going on, and I do quite like the fact that it is told from all three perspectives, so you get all three sides of the story and how it affects all of them and how they all see what's going on. And it does very much highlight the fact that change, even though on the surface might look really easy, might look really simple, it is not an easy process to go through. Especially if you're decided to kind of really try and distance yourself from how you were in the past and move forward, become a better person essentially. And how it's kind of can be quite difficult and painful, not just for yourself, but those around you, as I was saying, is highlighted within all three perspectives. And it also does talk about how people can do things with the best intentions, that people can decide that they want to be a better person, they want to move away from things we're doing before that may actually be toxic or harmful, but how the change itself can actually also hurt other people as well, because certain people might come to expect certain things from you. They might expect you to be willing to do certain things to help in certain ways, and your decision, or again in relation to the book, the decision of one of the main characters can have a negative effect on what people expect of you as a person. But to me, that does add a very human element to the story, that again, they don't just make a decision and they move on, deal with it, and it's never dealt with again. It's something that is very much a main theme throughout the book. And this is very much seen when Jimmy goes to the funeral of Lizzie's mum. He essentially shows up with some of the lamas from the Buddhist temple, and they're sitting in the living room during the wake, and they are chanting and doing certain things, and that essentially ends up pissing off Liz and causing conflict. So Jimmy thought that he was doing something good, was trying to bring what he was doing in his life into something that everybody else is doing, without actually saying to his wife, saying to anybody else, and essentially kind of ends up backfiring on him and causing difficulty and conflict between him and Liz. But it does also highlight the fact that sometimes when people do make big life choices, they don't necessarily think of the impact it's going to have on those around them, or on the lives of those who are closest to them. And how people can be a bit oblivious to how their lives can affect others. And yeah, it's like, again, Jimmy as a character wasn't meaning any harm, wasn't meaning to upset his wife, but it does, again, very much highlight and show how things are not always as easy as people think they're going to be. But there is also quite a gentle way that the story is told. I could have quite liked that it wasn't like a message that was kind of being beaten into it. It was very much a kind of gentle way of highlighting what can happen in life, the complexities of everyday life, and of relationships in general. And the conflict within the story is very much on the scale of the everyday. The conflict is very much within a family. It's like it's between Jimmy, Liz, his wife, and their daughter Anne Marie. That's pretty much, doesn't really go any further, but it does very much kind of does power the story forward. And that's something that I kind of really enjoyed about rebooted as a novel, that it was this family story and how change can pull people apart, but can also bring people back together and can make people stronger, not just on a personal level, but also on a family level. So as a debut novel by Anne Donovan, I can totally understand why it has become such an acclaimed novel, why it was shortlisted for not just one, but for 2 prizes. So this is one that's like, it is available in bookshops, available online, so I would definitely recommend, if you're wanting a modern Scottish classic, definitely get yourself a copy of rebooted by Anne Donovan. So that's my review of rebooted. Hopefully you will have enjoyed what I've had to say about the novel, and hopefully you will all be intrigued and go out and treat yourself to a copy of it. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.